GoPro camera so we can move it around the whole lock all the time. The main thing is, little red dot here, that's us. The line coming down is the sonar. That shows exactly where we are all the time. At the moment we're 600 feet or 182 metres directly below us to the bottom. This is the shallow end of the loch. You go towards Urquhart Castle, you're talking about 1,000 feet, about 260 metres, and its widest point about 1.5 miles. Sweet. I'm sorry, shouldn't have happened through somebody's feet. The main thing is, you see the sides here, they're very dark. They're very short dark for the steepness. You can actually see it better looking out the windows. This side of the loch is very steep, and this side a little bit more of a gradient on. The reason being is because of these lines coming down here. This is an active fault, this. We're actually... sorry, I won't fall over again, I won't go back that way, I promise. What happened here millions of years ago, two tectonic plates crashed together to join Scotland. If you look at a map of Scotland between Fort William and Inverness, these are completely separate halves. That side of the loch was originally attached to Canada and that side South America. Now there's movement all the time here. I say we do have earthquakes. Our last one, the biggest one I think we've ever had, was a 1.2 on the Richter scale. Now anyone that has earthquakes, although if you're asleep in bed, you wouldn't even wake up for it. But it's constantly moving, it moves about that much every year. So the whole lot is lined towards Ireland. Now I say, that's why 12,000 years ago, the last ice age came through, and it carved out what you see today. Obviously it took more off that side, it was a softer stone. But that's what actually finished Loch Ness. Does everybody know what peat is? Yeah. Yes? No? Yes? Well, that last ice age took everything away, all left was rocks. What we've got now is peat here, which is dead heather roots and tree roots. You might think 12,000 years ago it was started off with small grass and things like that. All compacted down. You notice any grassy areas you walk in the Highlands, it feels really soft under your feet. That's why it's like walking around with a giant grow bag. What that means is when it rains up here, the water goes so very, very fast. And you must have all noticed every river and every stream in the Highlands is brown in colour, yes? Right, moving on. It's our live action screen, this. That sonar beam on the other screen is that one there. We do a 6-minute recording. The white line is the bottom. All the red is rocks, yellows, greens and things like that underneath, sand and gravel, things like that underneath the rocks. So the black area is the water. You'll notice this is where we come to the side of the loch. When the boat turns, that's how quickly it goes down. It goes down really, really quickly. You'll notice as well here, there's not an awful lot of fish here. A few grey dots at the top, but across the centre here, empty. Pardon me, the reason being, all the fish down there live in total darkness. So they don't come through at daytime, they come at night time to feed. Through the day they stay pretty low. So it's always low down fish in the centre of the loch. You have colour codes here, from grey right the way through to mauve. Grey is the smallest fish. There's quite a lot showing up here at the moment. It's about this sort of size, a couple of pound in weight. And right the way for the top 1.5 inches, all these little grey dots are going to be brown trout. Once you come below that, all these little grey dots are going to be Arctic char. Now these are deep seawater fish that was trapped here after the last ice age. As the ice melted, they filled up with fresh water, they adapted and lived quite happily now in fresh water. Has anyone eaten Arctic char? You want to find someone? You've eaten one. Is it a very nice tasting fish?
Yeah.
I thought someone told you the other week it was, but it's really nice. If you got one of me, it'd be horrible. The thing is here, the water is that peaty, any fish caught in here, it'll taste very, very earthy. Now, as we're coming in down the loch here, you notice there's nothing here. We do have salmon coming in, but they're normally coming just at the edges of the loch only. They're coming from Inverness and go around the edges of the rivers that were spawned in. Now they taste lovely, because they've only been in the loch for the days. But everything else in here is going to taste very, very peaty and very earthy. Any of these big dots here, say yellow, will cook about 4 foot and about 40 pounds. That's what most of the average size of salmon we get now. You used to get 60, 70 pounders all the time, 100 years ago. That much fish down the Atlantic now, the sizes seem to be going down all the time. Every year they seem to be smaller when they come back in here. But any of the yellow dots in here now, it's going to be a ferox trout. This is the same as a normal brown trout family. It's a cannibalistic thing. It changes its nose a bit like a salmon. It's made for eating fish, this thing. And that's going to be the biggest thing in the loch down here. All these yellow dots, 40 pound, about 4 foot in length. Quite often though, we get a little pink dot there showing up. That's going to be 6 foot, about 60 pound in weight. These things grow huge in this loch. The British record though is only about £47. Now that was at Loch Ness, the one near Oban. We know they're actually bigger here. The thing with our loch is, if you went to catch one of these fish, they're 600 feet down. And you only use a live bait for them. You must be a fisherman, are you?
My grandkids are more than me.
Yeah. But you're going to have to use a live bait, so by the time you drop a piece of fish down, 600 feet, you don't know if it's going to be on the hook or not by the time you get there. And the thing is, and most fishermen are sports people. If you're pulling these fish up from them sort of depth and that sort of pressure down there, it will die. Its swim bladder will blow. You know what I mean? So most fishermen are sportsmen, they want to put it back in again to catch it bigger next year. So no one fishes here at all. Even the local school children around here fish in the river, or they'll walk up any hill to one of the little small lochs to catch brown trout. They'll have it for the breakfast and never leave it out here because it tastes horrible. Apparently these big Fanox trout, if you eat them raw, it's supposed to taste a bit like smoked salmon, but I still think they'll be a little bit peatier than the smoked salmon is. That's the main predator in the loch. We also have some nice big pike in the loch. They can most average about 4 foot, but we do quite often see them 5 to 6 foot in length. They actually come up the canal and sunbathe when the sun actually comes out in Scotland. There's a little sandy bank behind where you bought your tickets from. Just lay there sunbathe. Who knew pike like to sunbathe? They do quite often. And I like the loch because we have a lot of ducklings running around the loch. We have a pair of mallards, always go right where our hut is. And they've had 24 ducklings this year. There's 3 left. The pike has had 21 of these fish. Let's disappear off the top of the water. Just straight away, gone. We also have some nice big eels in this loch. Now was about 15 years ago, there was an intake at the fires down there, the hydro scheme. Then a breakdown, they went to examine it, and what it was they found the remains of an eel in there in the intake about 9 to 10 foot in length. This is big, huge eel about this sort of girth. But the thing is, it takes normally about 30 years for an eel to get to 6 foot in length. They grow very big in Loch Ness and very fast, or they live a long time in Loch Ness. So nobody bothers feeding them up here, so they've got lots of food down there. They said there's plenty of space down there. And the good thing about Loch Ness as well, because we've got no farms around here, and no factory, there's no plugs in the water. The water is perfectly fresh all the time. It's like if you're at home with a goldfish, keep the goldfish bowl to stay this big all its life. Put it in your garden pond, it'll grow this big. Same thing with Loch Ness, there's nothing to stop the growth of the fish here. There's plenty of food and plenty of space for them to run around in, sort of thing. Right, if you go right at the top of that scale, the mauve colour, make it up here, well, the size of my thumbnail, that's Nessie. Did anyone come and see Nessie today?
Yeah.
Sorry. Most of the times the Loch Ness Monster happen around Urquhart Castle Head. That's where the loch's at its deepest. It takes about 1,000 feet there, about 260 metres, and a mile and a half wide. It's the widest point. This end, look, we don't get many sightings. A lot of people say because this village doesn't drink as much whiskey as they do with Drumnadocket. It could be either way. Now, personally, I think there's something big in the water here, but I can tell you for certain it's not a prehistoric animal, because 12,000 years ago, this loch was white clear. It was just rocks left, it wouldn't survive. And it's not a long-necked animal like you see all the fake photographs of Loch Ness Monster. The simple reason this loch is too cold. With a big long neck like that, it couldn't keep all the veins or blood warm when it's going to the brim. You know what I mean? It just, think of it, if you put a giraffe in here, it would freeze to death. Same thing with that, so it's not that. I mean, there was talk on the country, I found a sturgeon once, 240 years old and 27 foot in length. Now to me, that's a monster anyway, that's without being in here. But no matter where you go in the world, I mean, go right way across to Canada. There with local one, that the Native Americans call it, is Oko Poko. And I was watching the documentary the other week. It's more or less the same sort of idea as we've got here. About 40 foot in length. Just say a couple of humps in the water, you know what I mean? And this is Native Americans. Go anywhere else in the world where there's deep water, the story's got the same sort of creatures. Now, I like to think, I'm being a romantic here, but I like to think there was something big down there. And to be honest, I hope we never actually find it, because if we did, within 2 weeks of finding it, we'd be either in Orlando in SeaWorld next to Shimo. It would, we'd sell it without a doubt. Or it'd be dragged out the water and put some factory floor somewhere and we couldn't see what's around it. You know how it survives these sort of things. But to me, just to leave it alone, when we grew up enough to find some of that, wouldn't it be nice in 100 years' time to find some of that we could learn to go deep in this dive water like it does and back up again. If we go any deep water, we end up in a decompression chamber for 3 weeks or 4 weeks before we come back out again. These things can go from the bottom of here to the top and back down again. Because most of the science, it is just a hump in the water. Now, if it is a big sturgeon, that's all you would see as the fish went down. It wouldn't like to put its head out of the water to catch a fly, because these things are massive, and they're mostly bottom feeders. But apart from that, anything down there, it'd be great to think of something down there, wouldn't it? It really would. Bertie, that's my 2 screens. Have you got any questions on them? Everyone's a sauna and a fish. Oh, great question.
Does anybody know scuba divers?
You can go and scuba dive if you want. For about
For
6
10
foot.
minutes?
For about 6 foot, and that's all you're going to see.
Really? Okay.
Honestly, I've watched there's been documentaries on television. There's been a lot of people down the bottom of Loch Ness with RVs and things like that. Even with an RV, which is a little robot submarine, with a full bank of lighting, you can see about 3 foot. If you went down there with a diving torch, just one torch in your hand, you see that far.
Alright.
Yes, people have gone diving down there, but normally what happens, when that cliff face goes down, they'll go that to the cliff face and they'll go down. They found funguses and stuff that's nowhere else in the world, just going down. But it's a bit pointless because if you come away from the side, and you can't see your gauge, you don't know which is up and which is down, and you're in total darkness down there. Because the water's that much pressure down there, unless you filled your suit with air or dropped your legs and floated up, you wouldn't know which was up and which was down. It's a very, very, very dangerous place actually to die.
You have vegetation that grows in the water, like seaweed type?
All you'll have, no, because it's too dark down there, you'll have algae and things like that, and you get some funguses. I think what they found there once was a fungus. The first time they found this fungus anywhere in the world, it was a certain depth down in Loch Ness. But apart from that, there's nothing there, so it's barren down there. But as you say, these documentaries say where the RV is, you can just see the bottom.